Welcome to Tenacious Entrepreneurs, where perseverance meets purpose and every setback is just another step forward. Join us as we dive into the journeys of entrepreneurs who faced failures, embraced change, and emerged stronger than ever. Whether you're dreaming big or already on your way, this podcast is here to remind you that the end is only the beginning. Stay inspired, stay tenacious, and let's conquer the entrepreneurial world together.
Hey, it's Joseph Dupont. Welcome back to Tenacious Entrepreneur podcast. For today, we're going to be blessed with a friend of mine, Tommy Ashley's coming in and going to tell us a little bit about his life. And Tommy, thanks so much for coming on the set, man.
Yes, sir. Happy to be here.
Yeah. I just had this conversation with a guy. I told him, I said, salvation is a pinpointed point in your life, but it's not the destination. In other words,
Right.
you can point to the day that you said, I surrendered to God or whatever, or you point to the day where you said, hey, I surrendered to getting married and changing my life. And like you point to that day, sanctification is a journey. It's a
Right.
process. That's the whole thing between that point and time we get to heaven.
Right.
We're never going to be perfect. Like
Right.
you're not going to be a perfect man at 60.
Right.
You'll be a little more mellow at
Right.
70 and 75, but hopefully.
Yeah.
But you're not going to be perfect.
Nope,
You're still
never.
going to screw up, man.
Never.
And thank God for forgiveness, man, for having a forgiving wife and forgiving family.
You
And
better believe that.
yeah,
that's
man.
that's why I'm still here. Being as I get the person I am is because my wife has. I know she's. Sometimes she just wants to knock me in the next week, but I mean that's. Whenever you act like I have acted,
Yeah.
which I shouldn't have. It's, you can't expect people to kiss your behind.
It couldn't have been an easy thing for her to step into of like, hey, what kind of job, what kind of work you do? Well, I've worked 45 days doing this, worked 45 days doing that. I've done this and that. Like, it couldn't have been an easy thing for her to process in her mind of like, hey, this is a good provider. This is a good
Yeah, I was
husband.
a car salesman going from dealership to dealership.
Right. So in her mind, like it was sort of like you were all over the place. But
She saw something in me.
yeah. Thank God for a good woman. man.
Look, we hadn't been dating a month, and she loaned me a couple $1,000s to use for a down payment because my truck had just gotten repoed at work while I was working a car deal with a customer. And so she loans me a couple $1,000s to use as a down payment to get a car at the dealership that I was working at, and I don't know if I paid her back, but she always brings that up that I never paid her back. So
It may be time.
she
Christmas
never
is
lets
coming.
that one go.
Christmas is coming, man. I think I would get her like a really, really good upgrade on a ring and say, hey, look,
Yeah.
here's your $2,000 back.
Yeah, she took a huge risk on me. I mean,
Yeah.
I was not a prize. I was sleeping on somebody else's couch when we met.
Yeah, man. So I mean that's tremendous. So you guys you've been together now for 11 years.
11 years.
So I guess
November will be 11 years.
the jury's out. She's going to keep you, I think, huh?
I hope so. We're signing papers for our house next week. We're closing, so
That's a
unless she
long-term
has some
commitment.
kind of master plan, I think we'll be okay.
Yeah. Just look out for shovels, man.
Yeah.
If you see
Yeah.
a backhoe in the backyard, like digging, the master plan is taking place.
Yep.
So at what point did you actually move into okay, I'm not going to be a car sales guy. I'm going to move into entrepreneurialism.
Well, that's a question that doesn't take 5 seconds to answer.
We got time.
This happened when I was working in construction. My whole journey, from when I had a lemonade stand when I was 8 or 9 years old, on a dirt road that I grew up on, and selling lemonade. I think I did it once or twice, and I had a little lawn business, with push mowers, and my help got attacked by hornets. So he went to the hospital, and that was the end of my lawn business because I didn't have a helper, and I don't know. I guess I just quit doing it. And then I worked so many jobs, over time.
Yeah.
I always had that one side hustle, my buying and selling and trading, which was my true passion. And if there's any regrets, that I would go back to, I should have pushed myself further, more forward, like my dad was telling
Yeah,
me.
I could see you owning a pawn shop. That would be like an ideal.
I was this close to a pawn shop
Yeah.
when I lived in Texas.
Yeah.
But along the way, I had all these mentors and all these guys showing me these, what to buy and what not to buy. And I was learning from them. My buddy Johnny, he would teach me, tools always sell. Tools always sell. Don't buy these kind, get these. And, it was like a university. He was my neighbor. He was an older guy, much older than me. And then one of my I call him a mentor, but he's one of my best friends, Chef Mike, my business partner for the rental company. He's always been the most giving. I've seen this guy go through some stuff that I wouldn't wish on anybody. And with his son, and oh man, I just knew, I know who, and I go see him every year to go work for his catering company in Midland.
So I think that I want to identify something for you here.
Yeah.
You can learn from people.
That's where I'm going with this.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Chef Mike plays a huge part in the business person I am today, how I run my business, how I treat my people. Because I've been watching him. He's got a very successful catering company in Midland, and I know for a fact he came from nothing. Not nothing, as a family, but he started at zero in the industry, and he learned it. And I go every year to Midland, Texas, to go work for 3 weeks, 2 weeks in December to work with the catering company, and they get some serious business there, and you get a lot of experience working in that kitchen and serving food to people and stuff like that. So a lot of the decisions that I've been making over the last 10, 11 years, helping him, even though I've known him 20-something years, I take a little bit of that. So I make it a mission to keep going.
What I was trying to point out to you is that the school teacher.
Yes, sir.
You pulled up her name out of the thin air.
I can name a bunch of school teachers.
But I'm saying the one that actually believed in you.
Miss Donna Arbor.
Yeah, the one that believed in you, the one that actually moved you to most succeed. It seems like that if somebody leans into you and actually invests in you, the dividends come back.
That's right.
You actually respect that, and
That's right.
But the ones that are just doing it out of, I just want to tell you what to do.
Yeah.
And that's the reason I took this job, is to be your boss.
And
you didn't do well.
She was the kids, she's meanest teacher in school. That was kind of, what her reputation was. She was just doing her job, and she cared about kids, and she wouldn't let you, get out of line.
But the point is, she leaned in, and you flourished.
Yes,
Mike
sir.
leaned in, and you flourished out of that relationship.
That's
right. You just said somebody else that leaned in and taught you some stuff. The guy next
Johnny.
door, that was your buddy that taught you. But everything that you've started to accomplish in life is all from people leaning in.
That's right.
People leaning into you is causing you to open up. And so that's. I imagine that there's been times where people's leaned in, though, that it didn't end well. People invested in you.
Tony Vasquez, when I worked at Rent-A-Center, I walked into the shopping center. I met this guy, Manny Trevino, which is one of my best friends today. I think I was cleaning swimming pools. I walked in there, and I gave him an attitude, like, "Can I help you or anything?" I was like, "No, I'm good." I was there for an interview, and he was like, just trying to help me. He's just a nice guy, and I'm giving him attitude, and that's still the 20-something-year-old me. So anyway, Tony gets back, gives me the interview, gives me the job. I excelled beyond, what I thought I was capable of, because he wouldn't let me. Oh man, he wouldn't. I had to hit those numbers. Tom, can you handle it? that was him. That was Tony. And at the end of my end of my rent to own experience. Well, anyway, when I say ended badly, it was because I broke the company rules and I got fired. I had opened up an account that I wasn't supposed to open because I wanted this new 70-inch TV, and I rented one to myself under a fake name and had it delivered to my house, and that's what I got fired.
And you hit your percentage or whatever of closed deals for the month.
Collections was my thing.
Yeah,
I was the man in collections. Yeah.
So you hit your.
He taught me how to be that killer.
Yeah.
That results guy. And just keep on. Just because somebody tells you no, I heard no so many times, but
it's the rules. It's the rules that you have a problem with.
It is.
Yeah. You struggle with the rules because the boundaries.
That's right.
Are there, and I can tell you, man. Like, I know for me, for a fact, like I've seen that in my life where I struggle with the rules and the boundaries that are placed around me, and it's hard because you have a tendency to to push back.
Because you don't feel like you can be your creative self. If you're working, if I'm working for somebody, I want to do darn near exactly what you're asking me to do. If
Right.
you tell me I can be creative and do my own thing, that's what I'm going to do.
Right,
But you
right.
might not like how I do it.
Right. Yeah, it'd be a little bit too creative.
Exactly.
Yeah, it'd be a little bit too creative to
Exactly.
do it. So in your time of starting your business, your first business was a pressure washing company.
Officially, yes.
How did you actually start that?
So Floyd Bayham,
Okay.
told me about it. This guy, Larry Leach, retired. I think he did good in the more stock market or something like that, and he sold the business to Wise Guys Gutters, Belinda and Heath Wise. They were friends with Floyd. Floyd told me about it. Hey, they're selling the business. They got their gutter business. It's just, they got enough going on, so they wanted to let the pressure washing go. So it was a box truck, some equipment, and some other stuff. Me and Floyd went in 50-50. He put up half the money. I put up half the money. Then this truck started giving problems, and it was costing money every single day to keep this truck running. It was taking too much of my time. So I told Floyd, I said, look, I can either give you my half, or you,
I give you my half, or you give me your half. One of us got to take it. Yeah.
One of us is going to have to take it. And I gave him that opportunity. He was like, no, I don't want to go through all that too. So I'm thankful for this, that he sent it my way, because I wasn't like, hey, it's got to be me or nobody. So
I find that's the best negotiations. Like if you're able to say, hey, I'll do this, or you can do this, either way.
Yep.
And then that's fair.
That's right.
Because you're willing to walk away, or you're willing to walk away, but one of us got to.
That's right.
Got to move.
And there wasn't going to be enough. It
wasn't enough meat on the bone to.
There wasn't
to slice up between two people.
No, because all the expenses and stuff like that involved with keeping that truck running, keeping all that old equipment going, maintenance. And there's no new equipment. This stuff's 20-something years old. And well, anyway, it came with a phone number and a box truck, a box full of contacts, over the last 20 years, and the prices, what was done, how much should be charged on the next run, stuff like that. It was pretty easy. Made our money back within a couple of weeks. The rest is history.
Yeah.
That was in August of 21.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it was right after COVID.
Yep. Sure was.
Right after COVID that you picked that up, and so you still have been leaning on your business as far as buying and selling.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I would say that's sort of the meat and potatoes for you.
Absolutely.
I know you just had a Willie Mays or something like that.
Man, so I have
you do memorabilia, so
yes,
yeah.
So I have regulars, folks that bring stuff to me. Sometimes it might be at 8 or 9 o'clock at night. Sometimes it's in the morning. They'll just call me and say they have some stuff for sale. Well, this ball apparently came out of a storage unit in Texas somewhere, and couldn't really give me a full story of exactly. I mean, he was kind of all over the place. There was some other memorabilia, and I bought stuff from him before, and I did a little bit of research. Couldn't find anything, so I was like, man, I'll buy it, but I don't want to buy it. I mean, I don't know, it might have been $50. Probably less than that is what I paid for that in the lot, and it sat on my. It sat on my chance, yeah. Yeah, it sat on my desk for 2 years because it was just something, hey, this may or may not be the ball, but anyway, I was sitting on my front porch, and you kind of inspired me to do some of these things, talking to God and praying and stuff like that. So I was sitting on the porch, and I was talking to him, and I told him I needed some kind of breakthrough. Just something to get me over this next hump. And man, I kid you not, I'm sitting in my office talking to a friend of mine, and I was like, you know what? You see that ball right there? I just kind of sidelined, like I do. I forget what I'm saying, and I get distracted. I was like, I got this ball a couple years ago, and telling the story, what happened, and I'm like, man, I'm gonna start doing some more searching on this thing. So now we have ChatGPT, which that compared to Google is night and day.
Right.
Because Google, you get these answers that it's the spam answers. You
Basically,
know what I mean?
you can go research this, and
so
people can pay for it.
ChatGPT, and the number one company that And I had saw this company before, but I didn't trust it because it wasn't top on the list on Google. But Mears ChatGPT had Mears at the top, and then PSA. I'm like, man, they have them over PSA. That's crazy. So I reached out to Golden Auctions, told them about the ball. Due to the lack of provenance, can't do anything with it because their name is way too big.
Right.
Something like that would hurt them big time. It'd probably cost them millions because then everybody's like, well,
what else is not real?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I sent it off to Mears, and man, they started the auction at $500, and it jumped up in 8 days to $42,000. My cut was $35,550. I just deposited the check this morning.
Come on, can I get a high five? That's freaking awesome, dude.
So, I mean, it couldn't have come at a better time. I'm not even kidding you.
And it's like the Lord just gives you what you need as 100%. You need it. I think that's the thing I always tell guys is like, the Lord gives us like everything we have need of. God's already provided. Like he's just waiting for us to catch up.
That's right.
But he's like, okay, if I'm going to get you to do this, then I'm going to give you this, and you're going to be able to do this. The problem is whenever we look at the seed and we think of it as our money or as our stuff, and we don't realize that like, hey, this is all for us and other people.
Right.
And so it's starting to fall down on you. I see it. Let me fix this for you.
I think I pressed a button up underneath here. I hope I didn't.
All right. Let's see, guys. I think we got it. And it's not. Got an equipment failure in aisle 47, guys. Let's see.
Leave it there.
All right, we'll cut. We'll step back in. All right. So anyway, man, I think that like God brings us what we need. Somebody help me get this microphone fixed. Let's see if we can duct tape that thing. It's got to be right here, man.
Okay, tight.
It's got to be right there. Okay, I think we're going to leave it right there.
There we go.
So just the problem was you pulled it down. Yeah. So don't pull it down anymore. No more, Tommy. Dude, I can't give you nice stuff, man.
I know, man. That's how it was in class. I couldn't sit still for nothing. I still can't sit still today.
Yeah, we got it. We got it, guys. I appreciate it. All right. So anyway, I think that like God comes in and gives us like what we need as we need it.
Yep.
The important thing is to recognize that like it's not always for us. I remember like whenever I had went through a lot of bad things in my life and trials and stuff like that, and I'd given a bunch of money away to start missions, stuff. We planted 700 churches at one time. So like we just like gave all this money, and yet I still failed and still had this miserable, horrible failure.
Right.
And I remember I had a time where I had a dream, and God showed me in the dream that there was this bucket sitting on the side of a wooden watering trough, and it was like a 40, 50 foot long watering trough, like you see in the Western movies. And I went up to the bucket and I poured it into the trough. And missionaries came from all over. I don't know how I knew it was missionaries. It was out in the middle of a desert. Missionaries came from all over and started getting down on their hands and knees and like drinking the water. Yeah. Well, when I poured the bucket of water in, it only put this much water in the bottom of the trough. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't enough to fill up the trough. Right. And I remember Jesus was beside me, and I said, Jesus, why? Like, why would you like show me the need, and then I can't have enough to give them, to help them? And he had me come back like where he was, like it was perspective, and he showed me the bucket was actually sitting on the edge of a well. And I didn't notice it before. There was a pipe sticking into that trough. And he said, if you would have just poured that bucket into the well, you would have primed the pump, and there would have been water flowing from that pump for the rest of eternity for that group of missionaries. But instead, you had to have people see you. You had to be recognized for what you did. And you had to take the bucket. And he said, they wouldn't have named schools after you. They wouldn't have named orphanages after you. They wouldn't have even known who you were. Nobody knows who actually primed the pump for the well in the Bible, but they all called it Joshua's well. Hey, this is Joshua's well. They knew who dug it. They don't know who primed the pump. And he said, I didn't call you to dig wells. I called you to prime pumps. I called you to prime pumps and to give into people's lives. And so for the rest of that time after that, like I understood, like as I get blessed again with money, I'm not going to just give money to missionaries or give money to people or whatever. I'm going to find out a way to help them to prime the pump
Right.
inside of them. You talked about a little bit about like, hey, basically you said you primed the pump inside of me by encouraging me to
That's right.
seek God.
Yep.
And that's what I'm saying is like, that's my gift. It's not like I could have given you $100,000 and it would have gone after a 6 weeks, 6 months. You'd have figured out how to spend it. But if you prime that pump in them,
Yep.
you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
It'll keep on producing. And I think that's probably in you. You're that guy. You can prime pumps in people.
I try to.
You can.
Yeah.
You don't know it, but you have it in you, man. Like you have a gift in you to be able to encourage people, and people around you that even your workers. I've been around them. I've seen them like they feel like family.
Yep.
They don't feel like that they're workers.
That's right. I learned a lot of that from Chef Mike, from going over there. I didn't learn that from working all these jobs over all these years. I've had well over 30 different jobs, and where I learned most of what I do today is from going over there to Texas every year. And I'm going in December. It's a mandatory thing for myself that I committed to, and I told myself I was going to do it because he keeps getting bigger, and I like getting in all the The
but that's how you actually thrive. Is what I'm saying is like all these people have primed your pump.
Yep.
Mike primed your pump.
Yep.
The next door neighbor that told you how to trade primed your pump.
Right.
The teacher that they just poured a little bit of love in, and it goes so far for you, man. It primes your pump, and you can just keep on pumping out.
That's right.
And so I'm just encouraging you, man, like to look for guys that you can prime their pump. Not necessarily, saying, hey, here's $5,000, go pay your house note.
I have tried it several times.
Yeah.
But it backfired on me. Kind of like almost like the marriage thing, where you try to help somebody and it backfired on you. I bought 3 different vehicles for 3 different guys, and then all 3 situations backfired.
Yeah.
We'll do a cut right now. So
Okay.
Just want to make sure that this mic is beating.
Is it off?
No, it was just making a weird noise, so I want to make sure that.
So you might have touched something on the bottom of it.
Yeah, so I was trying to adjust it, and my finger might have bumped something.
Okay, yeah, that's part of it.
You done?
Not quite yet. Y'all welcome to sit in here, but we're just finishing up. He had a mic problem, so they stopped it.
Okay.
See how it's wanting to dive down?
Yeah, I'm gonna adjust it a little bit. How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Go ahead, talk.
Jose enjoys the podcast host.
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Keep talking.
Yep. Hello. Mic check.
You're at the meeting with Attorney Pool.
Yeah.
You got to sit it. We've already been through this, bro. You got to sit it straight up, I think.
No, it's so fine like that.
Oh, really?
Oh. What's going on with this?
Dude, we need a.
Okay. There it goes again.
All right.
Just duct tape it to his leg. He didn't move that leg that much.
I'm waiting for it.
All right, you guys, get off the set.
Hold on. Go ahead, Tony.
Talk.
Yes, sir. Can you hear me? Mic check.
All right.
Good deal.
We'll jump right back in. We got 15 more minutes left, guys. All right. And action. Anyway, brother, what I was saying is that I feel like that, like finding the people you were saying that like you've had guys that you poured into, but what I'm encouraging you, man, is that there's probably going to be somebody that has nothing to do with anything that benefits you or anything that is connected to you. It may not be one of your workers. It may not be one of your guys. It may be, but what I would tell you to encourage you to do is pray.
Okay.
Because you're going to find it and you're going to know that it is. And it's going to be a natural thing where you're like, what I've learned to start doing is I start like even when I get around people, like, hey man, what's your passion? What do you want to do? What do you like to do? When I find somebody that has a passion in an area that I can teach in, I can't teach in everything. I can't teach how to be a plumber. There's just no way I can teach how to be an electrician. I don't have a passion or a knowledge in a lot of things. But when I get people that are like, man, I got a passion to flip things. I want to learn how to flip things. That I can be like, look, here's $1,000. We're going to buy the first thing. We're going to split the money on it. And then you're going to take all the money from the next one and you're going to flip it to yourself and you're going to flip it to yourself. And then stay connected to those guys. And you might grow you a group of 20 guys that have a passion to do that kind of stuff. I can tell you there's a lot of guys out there that would love to learn how to flip things.
I've actually done it a lot of times.
But the thing I'm telling you connect to is stay connected. In other words, hey, I'm going to stay 10% in this and I'll be your mentor. And just like Mike is for you.
There is one guy that I still stay in contact.
You're not going back to Mike because he pays you to go back so well. He pays you, but you're going back to him because he's pouring into you. He's giving into you. And so you're going back to him. And I'm telling you, there's guys out there like that you're going to be able to pour into that don't force it. It's not going to be one of those things that you're going to just have to like go find it and force yourself to do it. But I'm saying be open to it. And just say, hey, God, whenever these people come up, and I'm not telling you this on the podcast, we're on a national podcast. Guys, don't call him. I'm not going to give you his phone number. Don't call him. But I'm saying, like I'm telling you, like you're going to run across those guys and be like, dude, that's me at a younger age. And it may be that you go to YPC, dude, and find some, snot-nosed kid that's just rebellious as all get out, and you start mentoring. I got David, a guy named David that I deal with is a guy that does a mentorship program with young kids. And so you might get involved in one of those things, man, like a mentorship program.
I have been wanting to get involved in something like that.
Yeah, I can connect you with him.
Please do.
Yeah, he'd be a great guy. But those guys just they don't need a dad, but they need somebody that actually can
connect with them and know where they're at right there in that point in time.
Right there with that. He told a story. I don't know if you were at that Christian Business luncheon that we had. That he came and spoke at one of our luncheons.
Yes.
You remember that?
Yes.
That's the guy I'm talking about. That guy, like where he was like, dude, whenever I went in.
I don't remember his name. What was his name?
But his name was David.
Okay.
And I'll get all his information for you.
Okay.
But that guy, man, whenever he, started telling that story, it made me realize I thought about you so much, man. Like it's like God's going to call you like to step out of your comfort zone. And to pull people on your boat. And the problem with pulling people on your boat is you're going to have inspectors. Those guys are constantly inspecting you. And it's a hard challenge, man, because you got to, when you get angry, they're going to be able to say, hey, am I supposed to get angry and scream at everybody and throw stuff? Is that the way I'm supposed to be? And you're going to be able to mentor them back and be like, no, man, I wasn't supposed to do that.
That would be great.
Yeah. But I think that's for me, man, like I would look at this money that you just got in and say, okay, let's take 10% of it and set it aside. And put it in a special account called Other People account. We call it a OPA. And you don't know what it's going to be for. It's not necessarily for widows and paying people's house notes or whatever like that. I think for you, man, it's going to be pouring in and priming the pump in some of these young guys and getting them encouragement to where they can turn around and do something for other people. And you're going to stay connected with them. The reason why I say keep that 10%, that's what I felt like out of the whole thing I went through was that I'm not going to just give the money to missionaries. I'm going to give the money to other, business owners that I can help prime their pump.
Right.
And then they're going to give money back to missions and do all the stuff that they want to do. But I'm going to stay connected at 10%. And so I can keep mentoring and keep mentoring in their life. And then I'll take the money I get out of the 10% and I'm going to prime another guy's pump. And I'll take the money out of the 10%. I don't need the 10%. I just need them to be able to pay me to where they understand I'm still connected. So they're still being mentored. They're still being poured into. You see what I'm saying? Like
I do.
And I think, man, you got like so much talent inside of you that you don't even recognize it because of all of the ability you have to even recognize that something's good or bad.
Yeah.
You can recognize in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
I called you about a scissor lift the other day and you're like, dang, I missed 2 of them. Yeah. Right.
Yep.
And it's because when there's a good deal, you can spot it and so that's a gifting, man.
Yeah.
And I just encourage you, man, that there's a lot more out there for you. You're on the beginning of your journey as far as entrepreneurialism and mentoring and pouring in people's lives. The things that you've overcome, you went from being a high school dropout to going 45 days at a different job every 45 days, sort of moving around?
Well, it wasn't for it. I would stay at the job. Like I think the longest I've ever had a job was maybe 11 months, maybe a year. But after 45 days, I get bored.
Right, but what I'm saying is that you went from
Yes.
high school dropout
Yes.
to basically quitting
Yeah.
at things because you just couldn't find your passion.
That's right.
And then you went to finally you found your passion was your wife and your kids.
Right.
That's the thing that motivated you to really have a change.
That's right.
And then from that,
Gave me something to look forward
so
to.
something to look forward to. I want to build a legacy. I want to keep consistent in their lives and let them not have to worry about how they're going to pay the house note and how they're going to pay their, you don't want that worry in their life. So you're pouring into that. And I'm just telling you, like you're on a journey. And there's going to be ups and there's going to be downs, and you're going to succeed and you're going to fail. But what I guarantee you, man, is that if you just keep moving forward with the attitude of, hey, this isn't the end. Every time you hit a wall, you just got to figure a way around it.
That's right.
You buy a tractor and the engine blows on it. You can just sit there and cry, or you can say, I'm going to figure something out.
One thing that I've become almost immune to is setbacks.
Right.
Because I lived a life of setbacks and failure, and I failed so much that it's like, how much can you possibly fail? You know what I mean? But I'm still learning. It ain't ever going.
Well, it's just a setup, man.
That's right.
And the thing is that in the Bible, they actually said that they left enemies in the land of Israel, and it said to where you wouldn't forget how to fight.
Right.
And you're gonna have problems, and it doesn't mean that you're a bad person or that you're doing something wrong.
Right.
It's literally to keep you to remember how to fight and to remember the good times.
Right.
And to remember, like, hey, okay, well, I'm actually doing something right now in my life. I just had this. I told you I go to a Bible study every other Wednesday with my son, and we challenge each other. Was the legacy side of things. So you've got a legacy you're passing on to your children. All these things that you failed at and hit walls. I'm actually getting me a physical book, and I'm starting to write down the wall. Hey, I bought this tractor and the engine blew up on it, or the transmission blew up on it, and I didn't know what I was going to do. Then I bought another tractor that the other part of the motor broke on, and I combined the two tractors and I made it out of it.
Yeah.
And so for our kids to be able to see that there was problems, we've kept persevering, and then we've figured a way around it.
Right.
So that they can see the success and failures. So when you have a problem, you write it down. I mean, I'm not saying the most minor, thing. Hey, my pressure washer broke.
Right.
But a major problem.
Right.
My business partner did this. The state called and they're going to come get all my equipment because I've lost my taxes aren't paid. And what I'm saying, like, the major problems.
Right.
You write those things down on the left side, and then on the right side, leave it blank.
Right.
Of the page.
Yeah.
And how did it overcome? And then flip to the next page. My problem. You might have a bunch of stuff on the left side before you have all the stuff on the right side, but eventually life is going to work out. And I think our kids need to see that, hey, it's not the end. Just because your husband left you, just because you lost your job, just because you got fired, just because whatever it is.
In a young mind, that's what you think with one problem or something, you think it's a major setback and you're never going to recover from it.
Right.
But you got to push right through it. It's like when you get knocked down, that getting back up thing, that's something, it sounds cliche and it sounds, like a broken record, but it's when you do get knocked down, you do have to get back up, because if not, you want to be the guy that never continues to try, or
it's a legacy. I guess that's what I'm saying. And that's what I'm actually writing on the outside of my book is like, hey, there's a legacy here. Like I wish to God I'd had my dad had told me all the stuff that he suffered. I know a lot of it because of my mom, of what he went through. And like, I remember them, I remember going to the point where we didn't have a telephone at the house, and then losing all the electricity, and then moving into the Jimmy Swagger dorms because they couldn't pay the house note. And I remember like struggle. And then they persevered through. Whenever he passed away, he had 13 rent houses. And, I was set my mom up to where she was able to survive with a business that's thriving. And I'm saying, like, all that stuff is like, it seems so eternal when we're young.
Right.
Like this is forever. I'm not going to be able to ever overcome this. My dad got burned over 2/3 of his body, almost died, from a fire, and he persevered through that. I watched him do it, so I know the legacy from that. But I don't know the legacy of. My mom was telling me a story the other day that they went without electricity for like 3 months.
Really?
She was cooking on a little gas stove and putting stuff in an ice chest, and to me, she said, I went to the grocery store and I had my grandbabies with me, and they said, Mom, Nanny, I want to buy a confetti cake. And the confetti cakes were $3 for the mix and another $3 for the icing. And she got in the parking lot with the kids because she had to put it back because the grandkids didn't understand. She kept putting it back on the shelf. So we can't get that right now, baby. We budgeted like what we have. We don't have enough money for that. And they just didn't understand. They got in the parking lot, and she said, I had like a dollar left over that we could use for groceries. And she said, guys, let's pray and see what God will do. And she said she prayed with the little grandbabies and said, God, we just need you to provide us a confetti cake. We'd love to get a confetti cake somehow. Well, they left, and my mom's favorite thing to do was go to garage sales. The next garage sale sign she saw, she stopped. She went in there, and the little grandbaby came back, because 5 years old, holding up a confetti cake that was at the garage sale for 25 cents. It was a confetti cake mix. It wasn't a confetti cake. It was a confetti cake mix with the icing at the garage sale. And I'm just saying, like that, if you read that, it shows you the tenacity of God is a good God.
Yeah.
And it's going to work out. And I'm just saying, it's like for you, like I'm telling you, man, your kids need to see how it worked out. Like, you know what? I didn't know. I was sitting on my front porch, and I didn't know what I was going to do to be able to figure out this and this and this. I needed the money for this, this, and this. And God brought it to my memory that I had that baseball that I bought sitting in the garage. You see what I'm saying? That's a story. It's a legacy, first legacy story.
Yeah.
And I put it online, and I sold it for $35,000. And look at what God did. We're going to have Christmas. We're going to have the things. You see what I'm saying? Like whatever that provides for you, they need to see that in writing, so that now whenever they get into their struggles and they get married, I recommend you take that book and you wrap it up in a box and you give it to her when she gets married, and or whatever, give a copy of it to your son too, and say, hey, this is our family's legacy, and I want you to keep writing in this book, because the story doesn't end with me.
It's a good idea.
It continues with you.
Great idea.
And I'm telling you, man, that legacy is the gift that we can pass on to our kids, is to teach them that hey, it's not about the end, it's about the struggle. The struggle is a beautiful part.
Yeah.
It's not the horrible part that we need to like feel like we're failures. Like the struggle is a pretty part, that I actually bring us. The Bible talks about the water of affliction, and the bread of suffering, and Jesus actually ate those things. That's the body of Christ and the blood of Christ. But I'm just saying, it's like you have to go through the suffering. The valley is the only thing that allows you to appreciate the mountaintop, and you have to understand, embrace the valley.
Right.
You know, the most fruit is grown in the Rio Grande Valley. You said you were there. There's more fruit and vegetables grown in the Rio Grande Valley.
Yeah.
But it's not on the mountaintop.
No, it's on flat land.
But the mountaintop's beautiful.
Yeah.
We love getting on the mountaintop.
Yeah.
But the fruit's grown in the valley.
Yeah.
And that's all I'm telling you, man. It's like encourage your kids as they get older, man, and start journaling and writing in that book about the things that God's doing in your life, and give credit where credit's due, because it wasn't your idea.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
I remember I went to an auction one time, and I was so pumped up because I'd been researching everything about how to buy the right land and how to get the right stuff, and I went to an auction. I've been watching the news. I've been watching the local news, like all of the town meetings. I was trying to figure out where Baton Rouge was moving to where I could like be smart and get like right investment property to move in the right direction, right? And I went to this auction with my dad to buy him a rent house, and at the auction, 200 acres came available in Satsuma on the interstate. I've been looking for interstate property, and I knew that was the direction Baton Rouge was moving to. I bid on it. I thought it was at $5,000 an acre. It was at $500 an acre. I was, Yep. I ended up getting it for $1.5 million. It was 200 acres on the interstate in Satsuma. And I remember I got through it, and I thought, dude, I'm so freaking smart, dude. I figured this thing out. I got this. I knew where Baton Rouge was moving to. And like the Holy Spirit stopped and dropped right there into my spirit. He said, were you coming to this auction to buy that? No. Did you even know it was at the auction? No. And he said, did you stop everybody else from bidding on that at the price that they stopped bidding on it? He said, I controlled their hearts. He said, you don't understand, Joe. He said, I was waiting for you to make a decision on what you wanted to buy. And then I was going to make everybody in the world want to move that direction because I control the hearts of men. You think that you're so wise, but it ain't your wisdom. I control the hearts of men. I was waiting for you to buy a piece of property and make people want to move out there.
Right.
If I'd have bought a piece of property in Port Allen,
Right.
God would have blessed Port Allen. If I would have bought a piece of property in, Kentucky, God would have blessed Kentucky. He was just waiting for you to make a decision, and God's going to bless it. So I'm just encouraging, man, don't be worried about what I'm going to do with this $35,000 that I just made from this and how am I going to do it and I make all the right wise decisions and stuff. God's just waiting for you to make a decision.
Yeah.
And he's going to bless you in it.
That's right.
Amen.
Amen.
That's it for this episode of The Tenacious Entrepreneur. Thanks for tuning in and being part of this journey. Are you an entrepreneur with a tenacious story? We want to hear from you. Visit our website, tenaciousentrepreneur.com, and click on the Tell My Story link. If you got something valuable from today's episode, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with a fellow entrepreneur. Keep pushing forward, and remember, the end is only the beginning. A new episode drops every Wednesday at 7:14 a.m. Until then, remember to stay humble, stay focused, and be tenacious.